frustration at halftime when the ball 4 times in the red zone and don't cash in touchdowns?
There can only be so much frustration. You know, you got to move on. We knew those plays that in the first half were done. There's nothing we can do about them. We came out in the second half with an expectation to execute at a higher level than we did, and I think we did do that. CJ really turned it up. So did the rest of the offense. The blocking got tighter. The routes were crisper, cleaner. The catching was better. So just overall being able to flip that switch is something that we've been working on, and something that can be a great attribute to have.
And how beneficial do you think it'll be to evolve against the defense that is so fundamentally sound, make sure doing everything down the stretch?
Yeah. Makes us not press to make plays, makes us not rush, helps us stay on schedule. You know, the run game is key, and it's something that you have to stick to. So when they're kind of playing deep safeties and not letting you have the deep passes like we're used to, you got to really run it, get the safeties down low and weak. You got to execute on the perimeter. We didn't do an amazing job of blocking on the perimeter as wide receivers today, so that's something we're going to look forward to improving on. But just being able to stay on schedule and not get frustrated and press for big plays.
Emeka, what kind of information are you guys as players relaying to the coaching staff between drives or during timeouts as you're all trying to kind of find the answer to what you're seeing out there?
Yeah, mostly it's coverages, leverages, and call it for what it is, just skill that we see out there. So if we feel like, there's not really any moments that we don't feel like we have a mismatch. But if we see something sticking out like a sore thumb, we're going to alert the coaching staff, especially when it comes to coverages and leverages.
Are those calm conversations? Like you were just talking about the frustration that can build sometimes when you're trying to figure out, is everyone usually pretty level-headed, or can it get contentious, heated, passionate at times?
Yeah, I feel like it's very level-headed, and that's something I'm very appreciative for our coaching staff. Coach Hart, Coach Day, they may blow up over a play, but they flush it down the toilet. The next thing, and then they're talking to you on the bench. It is a cool conversation, a calm conversation, something that you're able to relay back and forth and have that dialogue with the coaches. So that's something I'm really grateful for.
What did you see from Jackson today, and just did you see any frustration from him that he wasn't able to do more?
He always wants to do more. He loves playing football. That's what makes him such a great player, but he's a great teammate at the same time. So even though he wasn't on the field as much as he had liked, I think it was a good step for him just to be able to get his feet wet again. And he supported us great. He's a great guy to have on the team.
What was the halftime speech like? Just settling for field goals in the first half and wanting to turn those into touchdowns for the second half. Can you say what Coach Day said to you guys at the half?
I wouldn't say Coach Day said too much. It was more the players. I think that's what makes us special in a way, that we have such great leaders on this team who are able to turn around a team like that. We have CJ, all the linemen had a word, so we were able to flip it. And then once we got the play calling from Coach Day, we were good to go.
Did you see anything on film from Iowa's defense that you've seen different today?
Yeah, I would say we expected more cover 4 quarters. They played a lot of cover 3. They played a little bit of man, but you guys saw how that went in the second half. So.
You guys obviously are at the start of this second half push, and there's obviously going to be challenges. This is just one. Next week at Penn State, place I know you haven't gone, but I'm sure you've heard about. What are you guys expecting going forward with that game, and then just kind of the second half push?
Yeah, all our minds are focused on Penn State right now. We have a feeling this is going to be our hardest game of the season. And just playing in Happy Valley, that's a place that's traditionally known to be a hard game to win. No matter what their rank is at the time, there's always going to be a battle. So playing on the road is definitely different than playing at home. So we're gonna have a good week of practice. We're gonna prepare and execute the plays the right way and be able to go over there and take the dub.
Like Ryan said, sometimes it's hard, especially that first half. You guys are playing in plus territory so much. It's hard to get into a rhythm because your first 20 or so plays are scripted for long drives. Do you feel like maybe it's hard for you guys to get in the rhythm because you're playing on plus territory the whole first half?
I would say playing in that area, we have so many playmakers that we just know we want to make the big play right away, and that's not always the way that it works out. So we have to be able to run the ball and stay consistent in that aspect. I can't remember where I saw it, but I saw a stat that if you get 3 yards on the first play of a drive, you have a super high chance of scoring a touchdown and stuff like that. So just being able to stay on schedule in that aspect and run the ball with discipline is something huge that we're focusing on.
You guys were in the red zone a lot. You scored all those times. You just weren't all touchdowns. Brian said, like, you're happy to get points, but you want touchdowns, not field goals. What do you have to do to tighten that up?
It just comes down to execution. Every 10 players can do their job on a play, but if one doesn't, then the play can be ruined. So just firing on all cylinders and all phases of the game is something that's really big, and staying on schedule and having trust in the players that are next to you.
Do you feel that the extra time off is what got the sluggish start?
I wouldn't say so. The guys did a good job of taking care of their bodies. Even in the bye week, we had 3 practices. They were good practices. We came back Tuesday, Wednesday, had great practices as well. So, there's games don't always start off the way you expect them to. But battling that adversity is something that, we feel like we've trained for. You can't say too much about the slow start, but just happy we picked it up.